Go nuts for donuts! Gonna show you how to play this card game, tabletop game. Here are instructions. So you will have to look at these pending how many players you have. The setup that I'm using is for 4 players. These cards here, these are your number cards. And depending on how many players you have, that's how many cards, selection cards you should have. It's just basically however many columns you have, that's how many of those you should have. And then based on how many players you have, these are the types of cards to use. So I'm using 4 players, I'll have the teal or whatever, pink, purple cards. I will not use the blue because when you have 5+, that's when you use the blue. So we will not be using those for 4 players. Some other information there, and then this again shows you the columns. We have 4 players, so we have 5 columns. Again, read that if you have different amount of players than 4, but this is the setup for 4 players. So each player has these like selection cards, and what these cards are going to do, each player lays one of these down, and that they're using that to choose a column. So here's their column. So we have 5 columns, and then now notice, so I shuffled these cards, and then I dealt 5 cards. Just show you, so each card kind of has different rules. It's pretty self-explanatory on the card, but if you want more rules about, like, just some of these rules are a little bit better explained in the back of the instructions here, so you can see got a whole bunch of instructions here. Obviously not going to tell you about every single card. Like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. Let me show you a couple here. So columns 1 and 2, same card. It says if you have the most plain cards, you get an extra 3 plus points. So if by me getting this card, I get 1 point, and then at the end of the game, if I have the most cards, most of these cards, I get extra 3 points. This is worth 3 points when you have more than 6 types of cards. So what happens is you're going to vote, you'll take a card, I'll show you in a second here, and if you have 6 varieties, then you get those 3 points. Score for the set. This means for however many of these you grab. So if you have only 1 of these, it's worth 0 points. If you have 2 of these, it's worth 5 points. If you have 3 of these, it's worth 5 points. 4, 5, 10. And it just kind of goes up from there. And then the same thing, these two kind of act similar. This one's a little bit more risky. If I only have 1 of these, it's worth 0 points. 2 of these, it's worth 6. 3 of these, it's worth 0. 4 of these, worth 15. So to get 4 is not easy, but that's a big amount of points. So it's like you're taking a risk. I'm gonna go for 4. So that means that that third one, if you don't get 4, you're gonna have 0 points out of that. So some risk versus reward there. So here's how the game works. You got your players, and they have these face down. They're choosing what they want. So let's say I each pick a number. Each player puts one of their number cards down. And then here's, once everybody has their card down, then you say flip. So now we flip, everybody flips at the same time. And what their number card is doing is they're claiming what column they want. So if you notice, this player on the far left, they wanted the first card there. This third player wanted the first card there. So what happens is, because they both wanted that one card, nobody gets it. So this now goes to the discard pile, and these 2 players get nothing because they tried, because they selected something that another person selected. They get absolutely nothing out of that. So now you have here, this second player said, hey, I want column number 2, so they then now get this card. And this 4th player said they want card number 5. So now, oops, and I put it in the wrong spot. Your card you just keep in your area face up. So then this last person, they wanted this card. They're just keeping it in their area face up. And none of them have like actions. There's nothing else to resolve on these cards. I'll show you some other cards in a second here, but some of them have actions that you have to do like right away. So now we have 3 open spots that I have to refill with from the discard, or from the pile there. Okay, so now I want to show you here's an action card. This is an example of an action card. So if somebody won this card, they have to do that right away. They would take one, what does it say? Discard? Yep. So the discard piles here, they take the top card from the discard pile. Okay. So now we go again. People vote. Say that person says that. This person says that. There. There. Okay, everybody's got their cards. Okay, everybody flip. Boom. 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 So now players 1 and 2, they're going after that. So now nobody gets that. We take that away. Those people get nothing. And then this, I think this is the third person, gets this one. This is worth 2 points. So they keep that at their area. And then player number 4, they are the only one that wanted that one. So they keep that card. Now they have 2 cards, and it says take the top one from the discard. So now they get to take that, and boom. So as of right now, they only have 3 points, and then once the game's over, then you score the points. The game ends once these are all used. That's when the game ends. So here are what, I'll just show you a couple special cards and kind of what they do. So if you notice, this says draw 2 cards from the donut deck, keep one, keep the other. This one we already did. Some cards have negative points. Notice this one says 1 point for each negative card. So if you notice, this says 1 point for each negative card. So that wouldn't mean, if I have these 2, that wouldn't mean I get plus 7 points from this. This would mean I get 1 point. By using this, with this, I get 1 point for having this negative card. If I had 2 negative cards, now I get, this coffee gives me 2 points. So discard any number of cards not selected. So notice that these 2 are not selected. So this card allows you to discard cards, but also gives you points. This one allows you to take up any 3 cards you want from the discard pile, but you get a negative 7 points. So I can take whatever I want from there, but I gotta take the negative points too. And then this is very similar to that. I get negative 2 points. I can take any 1 from the discard pile. And then this one, I get 5 points if I have fewer than 10 cards total. So anyway, those are some of the basics. It'll make sense once you get into it. Good luck.